Hey, what's up guys? Jim the Game Guru here with another video. This time I'm going to be covering Moonlighter. And I played this game about 3/4 of the game all the way through. And this is probably one of the best roguelike games that I have ever played. I'm not really huge into roguelike games. I find a lot of them to be really shallow and just repetitive, and but by nature, just because of the way they are, it must be all these procedural generated levels. But Moonlighter is actually one that I feel is a little more unique. So you're basically this guy named Will who's in the town that has dungeons outside of the town, and the goal of the game is basically this. So when you first start, is you have the shop in the middle of this small town that is really kind of broken down, not selling anything, and then throughout the course of the game, you can actually go into these dungeons that have opened up one day, and you're able to go into these dungeons and actually kill monsters and get treasures, and then put them for sale into your shop. So you have the shop. Now, this is actually, the shop goes through several upgrades. The very small, so when you first start off, you're going to have a very small shop. And then this is eventually you'll be able to upgrade it to about this size, where you have all these different stands to put items in here. So if we go out to the main town square. Okay, so this being the town at night with a bunch of people just walking around. All these individual NPC characters really don't do much. You can talk to them, but they just have they basically say like just little miscellaneous bits of information here and there. Not really too much relevant to what's going on. You do have a few vendor outside. You have a weapons maker that will actually go through, and well, actually, it's a blacksmith that does a lot of armor and weapons. So you'll have your standard helmet, chest plate, boots, and you have three different kinds. You have fabric, iron, and steel. And then when you have, for your weapons, you have swords and shields. You'll have big swords, or spears, or gloves, or bows. My character, what I've chosen, I've actually switched in between bow and the great sword. I feel like the great sword is really good and does a lot of heavy damage to creatures within the dungeons. But the bow is really good when you want to stay really far back and not engage a heavy damaging creature like a boss. But bows are, I find in this game, are kind of like the boss weapon, because you can stand back, dodge, and then just keep hitting them with the bow. The other merchant out here is going to be somebody that handles potions and enchantments. This lady here will sell you enchantments and potions, and you can enchant your items to make them stronger. So you have an inventory here, potions, your equipped armors, and then you can also get amulets. You have special amulets you can actually collect in the dungeon. They're located either on a boss fight, when you beat the boss, or when you find a purple chest within the dungeon. I'm going to go into the dungeon. I'll show you how the items are kind of, how you get items and how you can actually assort the items, because this game actually does a really unique thing with the items, and where you can't just grab them and stuff them in the bag, because a lot of the items you get in the dungeons are cursed, and they have certain ones can actually be put in certain places in inventory. Certain ones will destroy other items in your bag when you leave to go back to our town. But I'll show you some of those curses as we go through. There's also another vendor over here who's not open right now, but this person right here, he'll actually sell stuff to kind of add to your shop that attracts more customers or deters thieves. There is a banker too. It's setting up here. I just unlocked him now, but he'll be set up soon. So if I go into here, these are the merchants that you can unlock throughout the course of the game. you'll pay X amount of gold to unlock them. The banker, I think, is the most expensive at 70,000. Yep, there it is. 500, 500, 5,500, 20,000, and then the banker. There is also the shop upgrades you can get. So when you first start off, it's pretty small, but then this is your first level upgrade, second, third, fourth. I have hit the fourth, and I've actually unlocked all these these chests and registers, and each one of them gives you a special perk when you add them to your store. So this luxurious cash register, for example, add an extra 40% tip when customers pay for your items. And this other vendor over here just basically sells things you find in the dungeons already. And the nice thing about this vendor here is that you can later on in the game, when you get quests from people, because the game will open up abilities for people to come into your shop and actually request a quest to go. They're basically fetch quests. Say, hey, can you grab these items from this dungeon? You go in the dungeon, you need to collect certain items, and then on a certain day that person will come back to your shop and give you the reward for those items. This person here sells items that have already been in the dungeon. Is actually kind of nice because sometimes there's dungeons where you don't want to go back. So if I'm on the 4th dungeon, I don't want to go back to the 1st or 2nd dungeon or the 3rd dungeon to get quest items, because it's just a waste of my time. So either I can deny the quest or I can come here and purchase it. But it also depends on what the quest reward is. So if somebody's only going to give you 20,000 and you're going to end up spending 35,000 to buy the items to fulfill that quest, that just doesn't make any sense. So you can either fail that quest or just not accept the quest at all. Alright, so if I go back into my inventory, I can actually go over here and see what my quests are. Let me see what my quests are. Alright, so this is today. Oh, so I failed this. I did not realize I failed this. Oh yeah, I remember that's from last time. Alright, so lava catapult. This person is, on the very next day, is going to need some lava catapult. He's going to need 10 notes. And then this next person needs chilled lava, 5 of them. Okay. I think I might have the lava catapult notes. I can't remember if I do. Let me go in here. It's got a very Legend of Zelda kind of feel to it as you're going through, like your top-down perspective. Yeah, I've already got 10 lava catapults, so I can come back and give that to the person and complete the quest. So let me go to the dungeon really fast and just show you. The one thing I love about this, oh, and that thing rolling behind me is my little pet. You can get pets in this game, in the dungeons. So I'm not going to go to the 4th one. I'm just going to go back to the 3rd one that I did before. This one I've already completed the boss, but I just want to show you some of the enemies and items that you can get. I've tried numerous Rogue-Lite games, and especially for the Switch, and some of them are not bad. Some of them though are just like one of them called I think it's called Nero Void or something like that. I can't remember what the name is, but that one I did not really like that one too much. I've tried Enter the Gungeon, and that one is actually pretty decent. It's actually got a really good theme to it. I like the pixel art and the movement and everything in Enter the Gungeon. It's actually really awesome. The only thing I don't like about Entering the Gungeon is it's more for the hardcore players, the players that want to play the game for 400 hours until they're super amazing at the game. This game is a little more, I would say, a little more laid back. It's well, not really laid back. It's more for people that don't want to spend 400 hours on a roguelite. It allows you, because through its ability to upgrade armor and weapons to get stronger, it gives you a constant progression with your character. And even with the potions to help you out in case you run out of health, you can do so. You can kind of revive yourself. And I know a lot of the other games like that are Rogue-Lite are not games that will allow you to revive your health. So this is where the boss is going to be. So this little fountain here at the end of the level is typically the room before the boss, and it will actually heal you for a limited amount of time. But I've already got full health. I should be on full health. So let me do this. The bosses in this game are not. They're challenging, but they're not overly challenging to the point of impossibility. So like some of the bosses in Enter the Gungeon are just ridiculous. Enter the Gungeon is really I find it's a really hard game. It's an awesome game, but like I said before, but it's you have to play it a long time to get good at it. But the bosses in this game are actually pretty fair. They're challenging, but at the same time they're not extremely brutal where you have to do it over and over and over again. Or pray for the right combination. That's another thing in Enter. You have to pray for that right combination where you just get the most amazing weapons, and then that allows you to go far. But if you get screwed on a run and you're getting weapons that are just absolutely total ass, then you're just not going to make it very far no matter how good you play. With this one, the money is actually abundant. So that's another thing you'll notice in Enter the Gungeon, is that you never have enough money to buy anything in the shops ever, which is highly annoying. I wish they would increase the money by maybe double or triple the amount. But in this one, the money is abundant. I've already got $6 million in this game over time. It's a little tough in the beginning because the money won't flow in, but as you get into these later dungeons, the money just starts to flow in. So here's some of the curses I was talking about before. So like if I put this in my inventory, you see how this one will say it will destroy one artifact. So then if I go back home, because I can use an amulet, I have this amulet that allows me to escape the dungeon, go back to the town, and then anything in my inventory below, like everything in my inventory will come back with me if I escape using the amulet. If I die, everything above stays with me and everything below gets destroyed. But in this case, this particular item, if I escape even with the amulet, it will destroy whatever item I have in here. So this is a good example of one of the curses. This is another curse. This will actually get rid of a curse. So if I do this and I do this, and let's say if I put this right here, now that destroys the curse on this. So now none of these are cursed. I can put these items anywhere. And when you get to the third level of each dungeon, usually there's some items in these golden chests that will actually allow you to take items back, or send items back to your hometown into one of the chests automatically without you having to escape. So I don't really care about all these items. They're kind of garbage right now, so I'm just gonna kind of roll through here until I get to the third part of the dungeon. Some of these, oh man, those guys are annoying. Some of these rooms will have fire or some kind of blockade or something at the door, which means that you gotta kill the enemies before you can exit the level. The music in this game, amazing. Control is amazing. I really like the whole Legend of Zelda feel. It really does a good job with it. Okay, so let's see. I'm not even gonna fight these guys. The door's open. This is not forcing me to fight them. I might as well just skip them and go through. This door's forcing me. Is this game worth the Metacritic score of like 83 or whatever it has? Yeah, absolutely. This is definitely an awesome game. And I think it's rated just right at 83 because some of the downfalls of this game is that maybe it could be a little bigger, maybe offer you a little more in the town. Now if you hit minus on the controller, it'll actually bring up the map of where everything is. The skulls on the map mean there's enemies still there that I didn't kill them. So let me go over here. Alright. So one of the things is, well, if you want, you could fill up your entire bag of potions, right? So how does the game keep you from doing that so you don't become OP'd? And you just sit there and just revive. And one of the ways it does that is because I cannot actually access my inventory unless the enemies on the screen are dead. So whichever room I go into, I have to kill all the enemies. So there is that quick slot for potions, and you can only put up to 5 potions in there. And you can press like ZR to use that potion, and once you're done using those potions in that quick slot, if you haven't killed the enemies on the screen, then you won't be able to refill that slot with any more potions. You have to actually kill everything before you can get back to your inventory. So this is how I'm going to heal. As you can see, going before now, there's going to be a boss up here. Holding, oh man. Holding B. So I'm going to go ahead and use a potion. Holding B on the controller will actually wind you up for like a super swing. So he's dead. I'm just gonna grab all these items. Actually, those little bars right there are worth a lot. So I'm gonna go ahead and holding down the A button will allow you to select a stack. Alright, so I'm gonna go ahead and grab that and head on out. Oh, did I not get that? Grab that other bar? Shoot. Okay. Alright, whatever. Doesn't matter. After I get through this third level, I'll show you how you can use the amulet and go back and then open up the shop and sell. One of the things I was worried about with the shop in this game was how much management there was, but they actually did a really good job on it, so you don't have to worry about managing your items too much. As far as the prices, up and down, what's in demand, what's not in demand. I think another negative to this game is probably maybe as far as the Switch is just some of the performance. I feel like this game should have better performance. And there's like that screen we were just in when it was generating the dungeon. I mean, these dungeons don't have that many rooms, so I don't understand why it takes so long to generate the map. The gold chests are, so each chest has different colors. So some of them are, so the first chests in the first level are like, they don't have any color at all. They're just regular brown chests. Then later on you'll have the silver ones. Now you have the gold ones. The gold ones have the best loot in it. So this one says that anything that's next to this becomes this. Which is great, because if you have a stack of, I'm going to put it here, right? So I'm going to get rid of this because I already have the 10 notes. I'm going to put this, let me see, I'm going to put this back here. So now when I go back to town, this magnetite is going to become, these 10 are going to become 10 of these steel items. So these steel items are actually worth more. So if I hit ZR, it'll show you, oh look, 8,000 people were happy with that price. 4,000 they went bonkers over because it was too cheap. So each item that you go to has a particular selling price. Like this is worth 10,000, which is phenomenal. What else? These are worth 2,500 a piece. And then you'll figure it out as you go throughout, like, how do I organize items and send items back? Oh no, that's one of those mimic. These guys are a pain in the butt. These guys are so hard. And I'm probably gonna go back to town if I can. Alright, so I just went back to town because that guy was gonna kill me. I didn't have any more potions in my quick slot. So, and he was, and those guys are ridiculous. Those and so now I'm gonna go back to town. Those enemies, those mimic boxes, they take forever to kill. Even with my massively overpowered greatsword. Alright, so I'm going to go back to my shop, and I believe that this is the day of quest for this. Yep, so this guy's going to want the lava catapults. So I'm going to show you really quick on how you can go in and do the shop. Again, like I said before, I was really worried when I first played this that there would be way too much management involved with the shop. But once you set a price on something, if it's too low or too high, you just adjust it. And then once you get that, what do you want is you want this little happy face. So if you look on the right side, there's like the little happy face there, 1200. You don't want the gold coin eyes, because that means that you're selling it way too cheap. And you don't want anything sad, because that means the price is too high. And once you get that sweet spot, the game actually does a really good job of keeping it at that spot. Sometimes the demand will go up or down, depending on how many times you've sold the item. So if I keep selling one item over and over and over, the demand will go down, and then the price, your price that you have is overpriced. But typically, I just try to sell everything, so everything's constantly in. No one item is actually being sold more than the other. Alright, so I'm just going to go through and just fill up my shop here. And then I'll show you how... I'll go here and I'll put these here and this. Oops, no, not that there. It's probably ludicrous putting this here because, yeah, 5400. Okay, not bad. So now I'm going to go grab the notes, because I know that person wants the lava notes. I can't remember if you can actually give them the notes while still having the item in your chest. I'm not sure on that. I know the next quest is 5 lava. Okay. Oh, let me go back in here. These chests right here, these will fill up. Wait, oh yeah, I do have those. No, I don't have those. These chests will fill up with items when you send them automatically from the dungeon, using one of the item abilities of send item home. Okay, so we'll go down here. Alright, so now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to open the store here. If you want, this person is like your shop attendant. You can, if you want, when you finally unlock this person, you can actually have them sell things. And like, so if I were to talk to her and say, yeah, go ahead and sell, that way I can go to the dungeon, there a little box will pop up. You stuff whatever items you want in there, and then this person will tend your store and sell the items. It's like at a 30% cut. It's always available if you want to. If not, then you can do it yourself. So I'm gonna do it myself now, just to show you guys how the shop stuff is. So this person is the first person's coming in, and they want their quest. So boom, I completed that. I get 40,000 for giving her the lava catapult notes. So now these other people come in and they're just gonna browse around, take a look, see what they want to buy. Sometimes thieves will come in, and you can usually tell if somebody's going to be a thief because they'll come in with a little thought bubble above them that says, hey, I'm going to steal something. And if you don't, and you don't see one, and they grab something, you'll know they're a thief because there'll be a little icon above them that says, hey, I'm stealing. What was that? What is that? Alright, well, I just took care of a bird. A bird just came in. I've never had that happen before. Just come into my store and run around. Like, I guess that was strange. Alright, so I'm gonna go ahead and sell this. I usually hang out here a little bit instead of being behind the counter to sell, only because if there's a thief, I want to be able to grab that thief as quickly as possible, because you can actually run up to them and hit ZL and tackle them to get your item back. So you can see as people look at the items, their faces will either light up. Oh, this person needs to be attended to. Sometimes you get hit A to attend them and help them with the item. Okay, so this is gonna, yep, let's sell this. So as you can see, it's really easy. It's not, it's when you, in the description of the game, they're like, oh, well, you have to watch for thieves and sell things and adjust the market price. It's not that crazy, because once you get them set, so like this person's a thief. You see how that he came in, he's like, hey, I'm gonna steal something. But he's gonna wait for the right time to try to grab something and run off with it. He's probably gonna do it right now. Yep, so I just go over here and tackle him and get my item back and peace out. Alright, so now I've got, so I'm gonna go ahead and do this. Sometimes they'll actually run in and try to steal something from your oh, okay, this person wants a quest, a cedar. I'm going to decline this. So he's asking me for if I would be able to grab, I think it was 3 of those within 3 days or something. Every time you open the store, somebody new will come up with a quest. It just depends on what you're doing at that time, whether or not it would be easy to get. So I'm going to see what this guy's got now. Recharger. And I think this is from the 4th dungeon. Wow, that sends me 90,000. You know, why not? I'll do it, because I'm going to the 4th dungeon now anyway. Alright, this guy's gonna be a thief again. Okay, let's go ahead. Okay, this person needs to be attended to. Oh, that person needs to be attended to too? Jeez. Put this up there for sale. In case somebody wants to buy that. No, I don't think so. He's gonna attend him. Let's go ahead and place that there. Okay. So it's not daunting at all. They've done a really good job with it, about how the shop runs and people come in and you kind of. Sometimes it's fun. I mean, there's a lot of times where I'll actually just run the shop because I don't want the assistant doing it. Not because I don't care about the 30%, but just because it's fun to do it, to work the shop. All right, so that's it. So all my items have been sold. I'm gonna go ahead and hold A to close the store. It closes. It's gonna come up with kind of everything that was sold for the day. There's 2 people that came in and tried to steal, and I made 337,000 gold on this particular day. And that's pretty much a majority of the game. Open up merchants, build your shop, make it bigger, get better hardware as far as your armor and your weapons, buy some potions, and I'll go down here and I'll buy some potions and I'll show you. And then just go through the 4 dungeons and then keep going through the story. And every time you go to the story, his grandfather, I think it's his grandfather, keeps warning him, well, if you keep going into the dungeon, yada yada, bad things can happen. I'm not sure what's going to happen at the end, whether or not something bad does happen or what, but the town is now alive. The shops are getting better. There's more people coming, and as you go through, you're going to unlock these dungeons until you get to the very last bit. So I've already done, this is the first dungeon, second dungeon, oh sorry, this is the first dungeon, this is the second dungeon over here, and then every time you beat the boss of one of the dungeons, the town will unlock the next dungeon. So this is the 3rd one I just went into, and this is the 4th one. So once I'm up to here, so once I finish this, then all 4 locks that are on this door will eventually get unlocked, and I'm not sure what the 5th dungeon's about. I mean, obviously, it's going to be the final boss of the game. I'm not sure where the story goes from there, but yeah. So this is Moonlighter. It's an awesome roguelite. I'm like I said before, I'm not a huge roguelite fan, but this one is just amazing. It's an amazing game. I know that people have said Dead Cells is really, really good. Dead Cells is really popular. I can't wait to end up actually picking that one up too and going through it. But this one is definitely not one that you should sleep on. If you like the Legend of Zelda feel, the top-down perspective with those kind of games, and you like roguelite, and this is actually a little more forgiving. It's way more forgiving than like a lot of the Enter the Gungeons and some of the roguelites that are just brutal, where you have to spend 200, 300 hours getting good. You know how people say get good, getting good in the game. It's if you manage your inventory right and you use your weapons at the right time. So like I said before, what I said, I use the bows for the bosses, 'cause it's easier to stand back away from the bosses, avoid constantly, using your roll, and just avoid them and keep hitting them with a bow and powering that up. I use the bow is my boss weapon, and then use the sword as my normal dungeon critter killer, and it's really well balanced for that. It's fair, well balanced, it's challenging, and I think it's a roguelike that is pretty much for anyone who wants to play a roguelike, as opposed to just the hardcore players. But that's it. Thanks for watching, guys.